working for you right now. This is Fox 2 News. News that works for you.
Get out and stay out. That's what Kirk Jones was told after doing the impossible. So why is he going back to Niagara? The Detroit daycare shooting shocked the city, except for one woman. Find out why in a Fox 2 exclusive. Plus, getting out the vote becomes homework for some students.
Good evening, I'm Hugh Perkins. Monica Gale has a night off. Right now, a local woman says that last month's daycare attack in Detroit could have been prevented if police had done a better job and looked more closely at the man who's now the prime suspect. She believes that same man also shot and tried to kill her. Fox News' Robin Schwartz has this exclusive interview.
I just feel like, you know, somebody should have listened to me. I feel like if someone would have taken me serious.
Charity Smith says she's haunted by last month's daycare shooting in Detroit and the arrest of 37-year-old Bernard Kelly. Kelly is also the father of her 4-year-old daughter, and she says she's hiding her face because she still lives in fear.
He went from hating our guts, to hoping we'll die, how he'll kill us, to, you know, we're the best thing that God put in his life. It was like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and I got a little spooked.
Smith says Kelly turned violent in 2002 when she wanted him to pay child support. She showed us this protection order, taken out after someone opened fire on her house and shot her 7 times. Smith told police she suspected Kelly, but no one was ever charged, something she's still bitter about today.
We all understand that Detroit has a very high crime rate, but we need to stop brushing things off as if it's just another black crime in the city of Detroit.
Police investigated but say they never found enough evidence to file charges. Smith says it gives her chills that 2 years later, Kelly is accused of shooting up the daycare and beating his 3-year-old daughter Stephanie to death after a fight over child support.
And yes, of course, a child's life is way more important than what I went through. But to me, it all ties in somewhere with each other. And I'm in a lot of pain.
In Detroit, Robin Schwartz, Fox 2 News.
A plea from the mother who left her children in a car while she went shopping. Brandy Fomby pled no contest to child neglect charges today in Pontiac. The 29-year-old woman left her 3 young children in the car for 2 hours while she shopped at the Northland Center. Right now, 2 of the children are in foster care. The 3rd is with her biological father. Fomby is now under evaluation as a mother. A judge will decide next month if her children will be returned to her care. Tonight, frat members at the University of Detroit Mercy want better security near campus. That's after muggers attacked Chris Himmler. He lives at the Kappa Delta Row frat house just across the street from campus. On Friday, he was walking with a female friend when they were attacked.
We had 2 people run up behind us, and, you know, they were dressed in all black with black ski masks. And they pretty much just asked us for money and stuff like that. So I gave my money. It was only $6. So they thought I was, you know, holding out, you know. And plus I was telling them to keep their hands off Laurel just because, you know, I didn't want them to touch her.
The university has issued a security alert about the mugging. An old hospital building used as a haven for muggers is being torn down, and additional lighting is being added around campus. A local teen dies from a drug overdose. Now his family is blaming Dearborn police. They say the cops knew that he swallowed cocaine and refused to take him to the hospital. Fox 2's Amy Lane with that story.
16-year-old Quantrell Pryor died over the weekend after he was taken off life support. A death LaTanya Pryor and her attorney blame on Dearborn police.
Who made you judge and jury? That was my son. You took him from me.
Attorney Arnold Reed says around 4:30 Tuesday afternoon, Dearborn police followed Pryor into the JCPenney parking lot of Fairlane Town Center and accused him of having a stolen car. Pryor then took an unknown amount of cocaine out of his pocket and swallowed it. Reed says police arrested Pryor, took his money, $1,000, and counted it out on the hood of their police car. Pryor's neighbor happened to be in the parking lot and saw what was going on. Reed says Pryor told the neighbor to call his mother. The neighbor did and gave the phone to an officer.
The police told Miss Pryor, your son has ingested drugs, cocaine. He's foaming at the mouth. She demanded that they take him to the hospital.
The Pryors claim police knew the teen had swallowed the drugs, but brought him here to the Dearborn police station instead of an emergency room. LaTanya went to look for her son but couldn't find him. She says she got a phone call from Oakwood Hospital a couple of hours later telling her he was there. Reed is filing a $50 million wrongful death lawsuit against the Dearborn Police Department. In Farmington Hills, Amy Lang, Fox 2 News.
Tonight, the city of Dearborn sent this statement to Fox 2 in response to that lawsuit. The city says that Quantrell Pryor repeatedly denied that he ingested any drugs when questioned by officers. And after those denials, he went into convulsions and police immediately called an ambulance. 2 Canadian men whose negligence caused the deaths of 7 people will likely plead guilty next month. 4 years ago, the drinking water at Walkerton, Ontario was contaminated by E. coli bacteria. That contamination killed 7 people and caused hundreds more to get sick. Stan and Frank Keeble ran the system at the time. In exchange for pleading guilty to public endangerment, they will not face 2 other serious charges. A controversial proposal to create an African town in the city of Detroit will go forward, but with a compromise. The city council narrowly passing a modified version of the plan to use city funds to create African town.
What I'm hoping we were able to at least do today is put to rest a lot of the concerns about racism that were raised earlier while still move forward in a progressive fashion. But we still got a long way to go before this thing becomes a reality.
Now, the initial resolution called for a loan fund only open to African Americans. The one approved by city council members today eliminates that provision. Meanwhile, the site for the proposed African town has yet to be determined. Tonight, the city of Hamtramck is back on its feet after years of financial chaos. You may remember the payless paydays for city workers several years ago. The crisis is now over. The city's emergency financial manager, Louis Schlimmel, says he has eliminated the city's $2.5 million deficit, and that's not all he's done.
Major building improvements have taken place at the library. We demolished the dilapidated annex to City Hall. We negotiated an agreement for a new cell tower arrangement that produces $25,000 for the city.
Schimmel says he's leaving his post next month, but he'll continue to help with labor relations, including contract negotiations with police and firefighters. Chris Edwards has been negotiating with Mother Nature, and apparently we're getting a reprieve. He's here now with a look at your forecast. Chris?
I just said uncle is pretty much what we did. It's been 3 days. We haven't been able to get past 50. It's going to get warmer. Let's take a look at the last 12 hours. We go back to just before noon. There was a whole lot of rain just south of us. Looked like it could give us a drenching, but the heaviest rain passed just to the south. Oh, sure, we've seen a few passing light showers. And at this hour, there's even a little very light rain out at Metro Airport. But for the balance of the night, it's mainly just cloudy with a few light showers. Temperatures will not fall that far from where they are now. We're basically upper 40s. We'll drop a couple more. I'll talk about 50s and when the 60s get back in here. Details on that in a few.
Flags in Michigan will fly at half-staff on Wednesday in honor of Private Mark Barbrett, who was killed in Iraq last week. Meanwhile, back on the front lines, terrorists are finding new ways to destroy the peace. 7 Iraqi police officers were ambushed today in Bakuba after responding to a false traffic accident. Back in the U.S., former hostage Thomas Hamill is promoting his new